Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome back, everybody, to day... Fuck it, I've lost count of Corona.
I don't even know what day it is, dude. Like,
yeah.
I found out it was Friday one day, and I thought it was Monday. So I'm
actually,
Corona.
I thought today. I literally thought today was Wednesday because I was.
I said that. I said, "Is it just Wednesday?" My sister was like, "No, it's Friday." And I was like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, basically, ladies, I know you probably have full-grown beards by now, and your husbands are looking at you, jealous of your facial hair. But it's okay. We are powering through this virus, and we've got a hard-hitting question for you today.
The questions do not stop coming in. So we've got this one, and it's kind of goes right along with this whole coronavirus, Budweiser virus, whatever virus we're going to call it this week. But they are asking, do you believe people fear commitment more than ever before? Well,
I like this question.
Yeah, if you got corona, probably.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I think people have always had a healthy fear of commitment. What is, I think there's an explanation, right?
Actually, it's not so much an explanation. It's more like a follow-on series of questions. But it's more like, I'm not sure whether people are afraid of the consequences that occur if a relationship and or if they prefer to live life on their own terms. Okay, we did a show about that a little while back. What do you think of this? Do you believe people fear commitment more in this generation or has remained the same or less?
Well, John, since you are the father time of the show, I'm sure that you can elaborate. Me as a young individual.
As far as has it remained the same or less? It's pretty much the same. It's just that because of the internet and social media and we no longer have to write this thing called a letter to get information or read a newspaper.
Wait, a what? What is a letter?
Exactly.
I'm kidding. I know how to write a letter before.
It's a bunch of ABCs all linked together.
I know that you guys used to write in this weird squiggly type of writing.
Yeah, the stuff that they don't teach anymore.
Yeah, can you believe it? Like, senior citizens are outraged by the fact that kids don't learn cursive. It really
we're getting to the senior citizens, people. You definitely going to want to hang around for the second part of this show.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think really with this, the fear has always been there. It's just that people are now able to talk about it much faster.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, if anything, it's no more. I mean, the fear of commitment, number one, is absolutely healthy. You should not be willing to just kind of live your life, attached to someone else. You need to understand
45
that.
45 days without seeing them?
Right. Oh my God. You have no idea. The corona struggle right now ain't no joke. But you go through this part when you start to. It's not even funny.
No. I just thought of something because this is like the whole coronavirus thing is kind of like Love is Blind on a worldwide scale.
It's so bad, dude. It is.
Yeah, because people are falling in love all of a sudden and they haven't seen this person. They've never met them other than through the internet. And in the next 30, 60, 90 days, whenever this thing is going to lift, we're going to have a huge baby boom. And people are going to be like, Mom, Dad, what happened? You didn't live through Corona. You weren't there.
You weren't there. You don't know the lonely. And there's people like me. I'm in a relationship, but I'm quarantined right now. Do you know how fucking rough that is? It's terrible. It is this is probably one of the best tests of your relationship because there's going to be a huge divorce rate. There's going to be a
huge baby boom.
Yeah, at the same time, dude. And some people, when you're in that commitment thing, you have to realize, like I said, it's healthy. You're supposed to be afraid of commitment. Shit, I can barely commit to a political party. I can't imagine committing myself to a person. You know what I mean? And for eternity. It's a lot. So people aren't more scared. Everybody's always scared of it. You just get to talk about it. Now, people are more open with their feelings than they were back in your days.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's when guys were guys and
Archie
the
Bunker
sheep
said
were
it
scared.
best. Yeah, Archie Bunker said it best. Girls are girls and men were men.
Yeah.
I love that show.
But there's along with fear of commitment and stuff, one of the things is it's okay to have like a healthy fear, but you have to watch if you go overboard with it and you start playing the what if game with yourself.
Right. Oh, man.
Because you start doing that. Well, what if in 5 years? What if in 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Or even what if in 6 months? Yeah, you don't want to play that game with yourself because you're just going to back yourself into a corner.
Right. If you try and what if yourself, you will what if yourself right out of a relationship.
What could have been some of the best relationships you've ever had.
Right. Or you can, I mean, there's one thing between like, you see this relationship going nowhere and that person sees it, you guys going down the altar. That's when you kind of, you got to be honest. If someone wants you to commit to them and you're not willing to because you don't see it going further, there's a difference than you talking yourself out of commitment. That's insane to me. Like, why? If you know it's right in this moment, what happens 5 years from now is still going to happen. Yeah. And you guys might be able to deal with it.
There's always going to be a chance of something going wrong.
Right.
But if you give up before you even start, well, then you've already lost.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how it goes. People going out to play a football game, they can sit there and go, we're gonna lose anyway, so why try? Well,
Yep.
Yeah, you could have won. Yeah, but our best player he's injured.
Put up a good fight at least, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it's that kind of thing. Don't talk yourself out of it. But also, it's also reasonable to have a healthy plan. So while you're committing to someone, yes, you can say, I want to do this in 5 years. I want to do this in 10 years, you know, and you can have that 1, 5, 10 plan. But instead of what if, just say, this is what we want.
And if both of you know what you want before you even start down that road, are you looking at getting married, or are you just looking at having something while you're finishing up your doctoral degree or your bachelor's degree or until you get that new job?
Right.
If you know what kind of relationship you're looking for, then that fear of commitment pretty much dwindles. It starts going down because both of you are on that same path.
Right. That's just, I mean, it all comes together with the things we always say. Talk. Communicate with each other. And if you're able to do that, as you guys get deeper and deeper into your relationship, marriage is going to seem like the obvious choice. Yeah. Like we have, you know what I mean? We have to get married. We are so in sync. We're so, you know, not perfect because that's not a real word, but like we do so well as a couple that, you know, I can't see any other option besides marrying you. And this is while maintaining your own personality and you guys not being able to, like, melted into each other as one of those gross people with no identity. Keep your identity is, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
You look at, really, you don't even have to look at even getting, like, formally married. There's no reason that has to happen. There's plenty of people out there that, you know, never got married, but by all intents and purposes, it'd be a common law.
Yeah, they're common law. Yeah, of course. You don't have to, that's what I mean, is, like, you don't have to get married. It's okay to want to just spend your life with somebody. Because that's basically what marriage is, with a piece of paper and a very expensive party that you only have once, and some very expensive rings. So if you want to save about $30,000, maybe you don't want to get married.
There's nothing that says somebody has to come in and go, okay, yeah, you got a driver's license. Well, here's a marriage license. I didn't realize I had to take a test.
Right. Right. Yeah. You should probably get some counseling first, though. I do recommend counseling for most people. If you're entering a long-term relationship and you're afraid of commitment, don't hide that from your partner either. Don't pretend like everything's good and then secretly freak out and like start smoking for no reason when you could just honestly say, you know, I don't know if I'm ready for that type of commitment. It's kind of scary. Yeah. And watching that person react will probably give you everything you need to know about whether or not this commitment is right for you.
Who is it? I think, Goldie Hawn. She's been like with Kurt Russell, but I don't think they're formally married because she'd been married like twice before, and she's like, I don't want to do that again. Right. So she's just been like
chilling
with Kurt Russell since like the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s.
Marriage isn't necessarily a thing that you have to do. But if you're entering into a long-term relationship and someone says that about, I really think we should move in together and do all those things, I'm telling you, as soon as you say, I don't think so, their reaction is going to be everything you need to know about whether or not you guys should do these things.
So are people more scared or less scared? I would think it's really going to depend on who you talk to. Right, you listen to some of our last shows, like the MGTOWs, they're definitely scared of any kind of
human contact.
Yeah, they're scared of human contact, especially when you reach that level 6 and you've learned the secret hand signals.
It's not even a joke. These people are wild. They drive me nuts. Yeah, it does. It depends. I don't think people are more or less afraid. I think people have always had the same amount of fear. It's kind of like, are kids more educated now than, like that whole millennials or shit kind of thing? We're the same. The only difference is you have the internet uniting old people together, and they're just angry.
They're still trying to figure out what a keyboard is.
Right. And that's kind of the thing. It never really changes. Humans are humans. Humans have been humans since the beginning of time. So these things don't change for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's constant emotions.
It's really going to depend on who you talk to, and really the difference between a person who knows what they're looking for and a person who is just kind of like, okay, this feels kind of good. Whoa, wait a minute.
Sure.
How did we wind up here?
Right. Like you blink and you're married with 3 kids and like you have one of those baby papooses. And then, you begin to question things because instead of speaking up and realizing that things were moving too fast, you just kind of let them happen because you were just so excited to be in a relationship that you forgot to take care of you and be honest with your partner. And if you're listening and you're thinking, should I get married? Do I think I'm ready for this? You never really know. I don't think you ever get like a real certainty that you're making the right choice in a long distance relationship because you have to deal with a whole other person. But you get this, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a feeling. When you see them, you're like, damn, I can't wait for us to do things together forever.
It's really one person kind of knew what they were looking for, so did the other person.
Right.
Because almost everybody that I've talked to, especially for those marriages or those relationships that have lasted for an extremely long time, when you kind of ask them, when you met, what were you looking for? And most of them like, I pretty much knew what I was looking for, and as far as a relationship was concerned.
Right.
Which kind of brings us to this next question.
It's a very wild question. It's really like a depressing question, but we got a kick out of it. I can't believe it's asked, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, I can't believe this one actually is, it's even really a topic. But
what's sad is like the little descriptor that's put in it. Like, after the question, that's the sad part.
Oh,
Jesus,
that's
so
the
morbid.
sad part, but it totally goes against almost everything that, at least with the people that I've interviewed, it kind of goes against everything that they have ever told me. So I'll let you kick this one off because I'm not sure if I'm going to get through it with a straight face.
I can do it. I did it once before, so I can do it again, guys. I have complete and utter faith in me. The question is so sad, and it comes from what I imagine as a semi-MGTOW. I'm not going to lie to you. But it says, as you get older, does sex become more depressing? Or no, as you get older, does sex become pointless? Sorry.
Well, according to him, as it gets depressing.
Yeah. He's like, as he gets older, it says, as I get older and wiser, I don't quite think you've gotten wiser, but that's just me. I get more and more bored at the thought of sex. Okay, well, you're not doing it right. And that's not to say I don't want a partner, but the act feels more boring and sad as time passes. Holy erectile fucking function, dude.
There's
Holy
a book
shit.
out there that you can try. It's called Kama Sutra.
It's like, have you never heard of your dirty 30s, homie? Like, there's no way that sex gets worse as you get older. Like, you learn more. It's weird when you're younger, I would say. Like, teenage sex is fucking weird because you have to sneak around. You have to, like, learn car angles and shit. Like,
yeah. Okay, 1 foot out the window, 1 foot in the glove box.
Right. And then you got to be home by 10. So you're like, oh my, well, it doesn't last so long anyway. But the point is, it's a lot. Like older sex, as you get older, you can have sex in your own place. Like You don't have to worry about your mom catching you. You can do weird ass shit.
No, you
that
just gotta
nobody
worry
else
about
will.
the dog coming up and sniffing.
Right. And then you just gotta close the door on the motherfucker. But like, you don't have to worry about the things that teenagers have to. I just can't imagine thinking like the way he says it. It's just so sad. Like, buddy, what are you doing?
Before we decided on catch my breath here. Before we started the show, we were looking through the questions and we stumbled across this one. Okay, one of the people that we kind of brought up as far as does sex become more pointless as older you get? Okay, people. Has anybody out there ever heard of the actress Betty White and seen
America's grandma?
how she went from this little tiny goody two shoes on the Mary Tyler Moore show to
Suzanne Nivens.
Yeah, even as she crossed over the Golden Girls age and went into Hot in Cleveland. Oh my gosh. And some of the movies that she's done. I mean, can you really tell me that she's like, yeah, it's boring? I don't think so.
Right, exactly. Sex is not boring. Sex is never okay. If you're thinking about sex and it depresses you, I got news for you. You're probably really bad at sex.
You need either a very good counselor or you need some very good education.
Right, because that's I've never heard of that. Like this is a whole new subject for me. The idea of sex being depression or being depressing. Sex cures depression. Getting laid is awesome. It's like,
yeah, it releases this thing called endorphins.
Right, like what do you like some? Yeah, do you not have any more endorphins? Do you not know how to love anymore? It's just a really sad question. It breaks my heart because I mean, and then we think about senior citizens and like, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Just watch some of the documentaries.
They're so gross.
No, I've actually interviewed senior citizens and how their relationships worked, and two of the common answers was two things. Really good communication and really good sex. I mean, that was pretty much it.
Truthfully, you can't have one without the other because really good sex is just really good physical communication. That's all it is.
Before, during, and after.
Yeah, right? I'm not even kidding. Like, it just goes hand in hand. You have really good communication, you have really good sex. It's just, ladies, listen, if you're listening, if you think, why is my relationship sucking? And the sex is bad and the communication's bad, leave it. Yeah. Same thing for you, fellas. You deserve to be happy. But if you're looking at sex and you think about the act of sex being boring, like I have never in my life ever thought sex was boring. Like, what do you mean? Because when I think about sex now, I'm like, that's not boring.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. It puts a smile on. It should put a smile on your face. Sex is awesome.
Yeah,
how can
actually,
you eat it?
One of the things that a lot of doctors have shown and working in finance and insurance and stuff like that, there's this thing called mortality tables, and it shows that people who have a very active sex life actually live longer.
Yeah, imagine that.
Imagine that. Endorphin brings blood pressure down. Burns a good 700 calories with just very short.
700
quickie.
Calories, really?
Yeah,
wow.
It's like going uphill with a 60-pound pack. And
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Boom.
15 minutes of sex is 500 cal. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm going to just start having more sex instead of exercising.
What is it? I think, hold on, because I'm going to look this one up.
I can't believe someone would, and it's not to rag on you. Obviously, you need some sort of therapy or something because, like you might need to see a sex therapist, to be completely honest with you, because sex is what the few joys in life that is like free. You know what I mean? Everything else that makes you happy, you have to pay for.
Here it is, just kissing by itself, between 5 to 26. And that's not even a really good one.
Is that calories burned when you kiss?
Yeah, 5 to 26.
Christ. How are you? So you're losing weight. You're doing everything. It's basically a drug. I mean, when you really get down to it.
You're also like toning muscle.
Yes, you are. That's very true. I'm not going to get into it, but I agree fully. I don't know. Like, I can't imagine. Like I said, the fact that you think of sex and it gets depressing. Like you're not doing something right. There's a disconnect with you and your partner.
Okay, so if you're going to live longer, you're going to tone muscle, burn calories. why would old people not want to? Because they're like, I want to be 18 again, be able to jump off high buildings and live forever. So how can I do that? Hey, Martha.
Right? Like, sex is amazing. And the fact that you're so depressed lets me know that it's more than just sex that's bothering you. I think you're lonely. And it makes you sad to think about because you're not getting any. Yeah. And that doesn't make sense either because even when you're single.
Just look how much those companies are making off the little blue pill.
Jesus Christ.
Or the little pink pill as well.
This is the grossest fucking... Ew. So gross, man. But old people are doing it.
Who do you think is buying all that stuff?
Young men are buying the blue pills, too.
Well, that's
people
true.
Enjoy them. I don't know. I personally don't need pills. But, like... It's just, I don't know. I can't imagine thinking like that. It's such a bad way. It's such a bad take on how life is supposed to be enjoyed. And one cool thing I would say about being in a long-term relationship is that there's like guaranteed sex there. So like,
if the communication is good.
Maybe you're just bad at it. Yeah, right. Yeah, if you speak well. If maybe you're just bad at it. Maybe that's why it's depressing you. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're not having sex with the right person. I don't know. Like, are you gay and you're having sex with women? Like,
I don't know. I mean, it's, to me, learn about it, ask questions, figure out what works, what doesn't. Here's a good one. Follow instructions. If you're not doing what they tell you to do, yeah, you're probably not that good.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of things wrong with this question aside from the utter migtoness of it.
And
just utter migto shit.
This is from an anonymous person, so we have no clue as to what age they are. But it says, as they've gotten older and wiser. Actually, you've gotten older. I don't think you've gotten all that much wiser. Because there is so much here that
I've never met a person who didn't like... Well, that's not a lie. I know people who are, like, asexual. I personally, I don't understand it. I never have.
That I don't get.
If you're asexual and you're listening to this, we would love to have you on the show because you need... I'm sure there's a lot of people who experience a lot of ignorance when it comes to the concept of asexuality. Because we just, frankly...
I've looked into it. I can't tell you really. I can't... Yeah, I've tried understanding it. I don't understand because there's so much mixed information out there. It kind of goes round in circles.
Yeah. So if you're one of those, if you're an asexual, I shouldn't say one of those. It's terrible. We're one of those fucking people.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're asexual and you want to, have a platform to kind of educate us about what asexuality is, we'd love to have you. Because once again, I don't want to be ignorant and say I don't believe them. But I also have such a hard time understanding, is it like a thing you're born with? Does it happen over time? Does it come in waves?
I don't know. Actually, a lot of people that I've talked to, the more you get, the higher your drive becomes.
That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah.
You just might not be getting any, dude. This sounds like a bitter Betty question.
That's what I'm thinking of because, if the thought of it is boring them, or is that, or you taking a lot of porn?
I would say limit your porn intake, but I don't know. I'm not going to say I watch a shit ton of porn, but I've seen some porn before, and it's fun.
Well, yeah, it is to a point, but I've also lived in the barracks where
filth.
Well, this back when there was like cassette tapes and DVDs, but there was no joke. There was one guy, he actually burned out a DVD. He watched it so many times that the little...
I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know you could do it either.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I'm like laughing so hard I'm lightheaded right now. It's fucking funny.
Yeah,
holy shit.
I've known people that have worn out tapes before, but I did not know you could wear out a DVD.
Oh my God. That is disgusting. But, I mean...
Yeah, apparently if you held it at the right angle, you can actually see where the plastic was scored because the little laser was just etched.
It's weird, like, I always thought barracks in situations like jail and shit was weird when it came to stuff like that because, like, you're with other people and you have zero shame. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah, you walk by their door and the door be wide open. There it is. You're like, dude, you need to close your door a little bit. Ugh. Why?
Why?
Okay, well, you can explain it to the colonel when he comes by.
Yeah, like saying. Everybody wants to see you masturbating. Like, what is wrong with people? But yeah, if you think sex is not fun, you're not having sex with the right people. I can't even fathom.
You're just way too far into it, and just everything's lost its appeal.
And I think there's some anxieties that happen when it comes to sex. Like, I'm not big on the naked thing. And it's not even a body shame thing. I just think being naked's weird. Like, having your butt on sheets is weird to me. It doesn't compute. So there's always, I'm serious. It freaks me the fuck out, dude, every time. I hate being naked because I think it's gross and you put your butt on sheets and you sleep on your sheets. Like, have some respect, people. But anyway, I think there's anxieties like that. Like, that's a fear for me of, like, having to explain that to someone and seeing the look on their face when they go, oh, so you're neurotic. I'm like, kind of, you know? And there's also the lights on versus lights off anxiety kind of thing that people go through.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different types of anxieties out there, and that just comes with communication. Knowing what the other person is comfortable with. So
I'll say this, lights on means you're in a committed relationship and there's no looking back.
But
I'm kidding.
There's just all different kinds of things that are out there. So if it's getting boring, spice it up. Go read a book. Go find a magazine. Go
on the internet.
Go on the internet. You can. There's more than enough. There's more than enough out there. Trust me.
Adam and Eve. Go there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's this website. Go there.
There are podcasts out there. Go listen to some of those, and trust me, there are some freaky ones out there.
Thing. And people are into some weird shit. So maybe that's another thing. You're not exploring your full range of sexual deviance because sometimes being dirty can feel so good. You almost commit to an entire lifestyle. Remember that video I sent, the documentary I sent you? Did you watch it? Fucking wild.
It is definitely so gross. Yeah, that guy, he needs he just needs to stay out of my area.
Pretty sure he's in prison right now. Or he got released. It's insane. Yeah. Complete idiot.
Oh, there was also, I just finished watching one on Netflix the other day. What is it? Tiger King.
I love Tiger King.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Talk about there was definitely some harems going on in that place.
It is a hillbilly mafia, and I love that. Like, more than anything.
Mafia that actually just transferred 3 different states.
Yeah, it's crazy. Think about how crazy that whole story is. And these guys probably had sex all the time because they were all, according to the episode 8 with Joel McHale, none of them had ever touched meth before. But here's the thing. They were all on meth. Like, your teeth just don't walk out of your mouth.
No. That, and there was, what's her name down there in Tampa?
Carol fucking Baskin.
The wedding photos, I was like, why the fuck would you turn that picture over to the producers?
She's literally insane. Not only did she get away with killing her husband, I see Carol
perfect crime there. There's circumstantial evidence and, well, you had circumstantial evidence and, the tigers ate the body.
Right? Think about that, dude. How crazy do you have to be to feed someone to a fucking tiger? Okay, so I think of her as like the head boss of the hillbilly mafia. And Joe is like, and then Joe Exotic's like the other, you know, like when you talk about New York mob, you have like 5 families and shit.
He's the upcoming wannabe prince.
He's insane. He's a whole new level of crazy that I didn't know existed, and I'm so happy I found, because I don't give a shit what anyone says. I am mentally fucking stable, dude. Because the shit that guy was doing was like,
oh yeah. Then you had his mentor up there in Virginia,
and he found not 1 but 2 guys to marry him.
Well, no, 3.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, he found 3 of them. And then but his mentor had like, 4 wives? Yeah. Girlfriends?
There was the one guy, what was his name? I think we're talking about the same guy who's like clearly a creepy predator because he dates women who are literally a quarter of his age. He's kind of gross. He was very orange too. They were very leathery skinned people, the Tiger Crew clan. Mm-hmm. They're weird. And not in the fun, like, this is eccentric, but like is this really the state of the people who run our zoos? Like, is this really, they're like carnies.
Carnies on meth.
Well, carnies, when you say carny, I already assume the person's on meth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think carny and meth aren't mutually exclusive, but they're not mutually exclusive. I think, he's weird, and he still probably has sex in prison because he's a gay guy, so.
Oh yeah, he probably has at least, I would say a bare minimum at least 12 husbands.
That's impressive. Joe Exotic is a creepy weirdo who I love so much. And I don't know. I think sex is just a normal thing. Like, people enjoy, so I can't imagine.
Yeah, and as you get older, it doesn't mean it goes away. Actually,
right, like,
that's actually, from what I understand, it kind of picks up because they're just like, yeah.
There's this thing called your dirty 30s that I'm super looking forward to.
Oh, no, it's dirty 30s, filthy 40s.
Yeah, man. Like the sexy 60s, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to be old and pervy and, like, hopefully married because I can just be a perv.
I actually remember when I was, I was a teenager and I was a bagger at a grocery store. And Sundays were like my favorite day to actually go to work because at 10 o'clock, and now at this point in time,
old man story.
Oh no, 10 o'clock because of the blue sky laws. See, in Texas, you can't buy alcohol on Sunday before 10 o'clock. So, or at least at that point in time, you couldn't. I'm not sure. I know where I'm at now. Yeah, it's pretty much still in effect. But at 10 o'clock, this big old huge Harley hog would pull up to the entrance doors, and this little lady, kind of looked like Betty White, would get off this Harley hog, come in, and she's dressed in all black leather, got the chains, the boots, and everything else. The only thing she would do is go straight to the beer aisle, pick up 2 cases of Budweiser, get those, come back out. She would open the saddlebags. One case would go in one saddlebag. The other case would go in the other saddlebag. She'd open one of the cases, chug one of them, put it back in the saddlebag, and then she'd start that big old huge 1,200-pound Harley back up and go tearing off.
That's badass. And that's when John's old lady fetish. So, nice to have an origin story. No, I'm kidding. Guys, John doesn't have that. I don't know, maybe he does.
You know, that lady, she would come in and she would always mess with us.
I really love how you have these vivid memories of this badass old lady. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, there was one of the cashiers. His name was Dave, and she would sit there and go, "Hey, Dave, how's my big boy doing today?"
Yes,
like,
yes, sexual old lady. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. She got kind of perverted. I mean, some of it's she probably today go to jail for saying what she did. But I remember her messing with Dave all the time.
As you get older, I feel like, like you said, you have a higher sex drive, and then you have nothing else to do. What are you going to do when you get older if you think sex is more like?
Really, the only thing you're concerned about is how many STDs does my Medicare cover?
Right. You don't get maybe you want to get a preemptive penicillin shot. Jesus Christ. I don't know what's going on.
Or find a preemptive prescription.
Yeah, right. I'd like to cash this in, Doc. Yeah. I need these pills.
Yeah, because as you get older, your health insurance starts costing too much. Life insurance you can't afford because it's like $18,000 a month. Really, what are you going to do? Sit around and play backgammon and bingo and talk about knitting all day? No. I mean, there's only so many seasons of Golden Girls that you can watch. So what else are you going to do? True.
There's only so many MASH reruns that come on. And I guess you could watch MeTV all day. I mean, it's pretty much catered
or you
to
can
old
try
people.
and figure out how the internet works and where does it go when I push save?
And yell at millennials and call them snowflakes. That sounds fun, too.
Oh, that was an actual question I got. I was trying to teach this one person about how they can move from the crash-proof word processor, we kind of call it a typewriter, to a computer so that they can actually save on the amount of paper. And it's like, I don't understand it. So I push save. Where does it go? Well, no, it's saved. Yes, but where? It's in the computer. All those words are in there? It's like, okay, here's your typewriter back. I can't explain this.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Yeah. Can't help you. That's basically how it went. That's funny. It's really funny. So I guess to answer your question, obviously we don't think sex gets worse with age. We think it gets
I don't
better.
see how it becomes pointless.
Yeah, sex is never pointless. Sex always has a meaning. If you aren't finishing, then you aren't finished.
I could take that 2 ways.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, we should put that on a shirt, dude. That's really good. I like that one. If you aren't finishing, then you aren't finished. Yeah, I enjoy it.
I could, we could probably put that up. Some of the other shirts that we've got, no kidding, we're hitting like almost 10,000.
Yeah, that chicken strips thing is no joke.
Oh yeah, I mean it's taken off both on Pinterest and on Instagram. Both
That's
of them.
awesome. Have you guys seen our shirts? Because if not, then stop what you're doing right now. Go to girlsaskguyshow.com/store. Pick your gender, and then go and see all the amazing shirts. Because guess what? They're awesome, and you should be buying them.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I actually got a question the other day is, why is this shirt so popular? And I was like, well, for the people that have bought it, they really like the quality because it's not screen printed. Some people get the joke, and other people it's just extremely unique.
I saw that. Someone was like, what's the joke? And we were like, chicken strips. You get it? They're in a line. Chicken strips. But I don't know how to explain it anymore to you guys. We don't actually get it either to a certain degree.
It was made for us.
Right. We don't really fucking know, but we like it and it works. So you like it, we like it, and that's how we need to do things, I think.
Yeah.
But I do need to write down that hilarious 2-liner I came up with because I am going to coin it some fucking how. You guys hear my words.
Yeah.
You will have a fucking button that says, if you're not finishing, you're not finished. Or something. A button. I like buttons.
It could be a button, put it on a backpack, a purse.
Like a patch. That would be sick.
Shit, you can actually put it on a bath mat if you want.
Could you imagine? Oh my God.
Oh, we got the bedspreads. We can actually put it on the bedspread.
Or like a poster on the ceiling to constantly remind you of this. These are things that we think about in the inner workings of our genius show.
You would need to put it on a poster on the ceiling, and also it would have to go on like the pillowcase.
Pillowcase would be
depending
wild.
on which direction you're facing.
Or like a bath towel. So when you go into the bath, everybody goes to the bathroom, you know, like just a friendly reminder. A kitchen magnet would be cool too. That would be very inappropriate, which I really appreciate. So you guys mark my words. That is my first term I'm going to coin. I love it. That's it, really.
That's pretty much the entire show right there. I mean, we've got 2 questions that, are you scared of commitment, and why you should not be scared of commitment, because it never gets old. Just don't sit there and what if yourself, otherwise it will get old. So
I just can't. Yeah. Listen, the secret to all this relationship stuff is to have good sex and good communication. I mean, and that's what it really comes down to, guys.
Yeah, 99.9% of it is communication, and then how well you actually present that communication. I mean, I've seen some rather messed up stuff in my time where you're just like, you're going out dressed like that?
Why don't women like me?
Dude, you look like you look like a fashion bomb went off next to you, dude. It's not gonna work. Orange, pink, green, and what is that? Purple?
I don't know. That's why I tell men all the time to stay away from those really multicolored pieces of clothing, like the pants. You know what I'm talking about, like the boat shorts. You know why? Because you guys don't know how to fucking match your clothes, and it gives people like a sensory overload issue. Or at least me. But remember, I'm neurotic, so maybe I'm not the person you're trying to impress.
Some people, that's actually one of the ways that I actually learned to put outfits together is that I would ask girls in the store, which one do you think looks better?
Does this match? Is it going to hurt everyone's eyes?
I had one of them, she actually put a full outfit together for me and then was like, so we going out tonight? Well, I guess you dressed me, so sure. Okay.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, you already know what I'm wearing and you like it, so.
Yeah, it wasn't my intent. I was just looking for some advice and it happened to work out that way.
Yeah. God, Susan.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know her name. All right, guys. So that's it. Hang tough with this Corona thing. Write us in if you get bored or lonely. We always have an inbox open. I believe it's Gag Show.
Actually, just go to our contact page
Yep.
and
You know what?
there's the
You're
button.
right. You're right. Because I will give you the wrong email address and be like, why aren't people emailing? That's who I am. Yeah, so just contact us if you need any advice, you have any questions, you, honestly, you just want to talk, you're bored and you're lonely during quarantine. I think that's one of the things that I want to make sure everyone's doing is staying mentally healthy, because this can drive you bonkers if you are used to not being home all the time.
Cabin fever. The walls do start to close in.
Yeah, it gets crazy. So keep your kids alive, hug them, appreciate them, because eventually they're going to have to go back to school. Like,
They're going to need to take care of you in your old age.
Right. Remember that. And you might not be getting laid, so you might want to just be really nice to your kids. Like, rate, share. I don't know, man. I have fucking...
That came out wrong. That came out right. We're not going with that.
Weird. Oh, yes. I feel like I'm in a fucking fever dream right now, dude. Like, rate, share, subscribe, buy, all those things. You listen to this great show of us slowly losing our minds. That's really what this is. It's documentation that we were once well-spoken individuals, and thanks to self-quarantine, we have now become toddlers.
Yes.
It's very fun.
Okay, people. And we will talk to you on the next one.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.